Thursday the 26th, trade recap. Whoops. From trades from last night that I published a bit after Globex Open at 6 p.m. So this here is the total of all the trade alerts and the trades taken in the room. So on the channel in real time, I give buy or sell alerts for the Nasdaq and or the S&P. So the rule is I only trade one contract, and for the most part, just trying to get $100 per trade. So I definitely take all the trading alerts that are posted in the evening. I try to take all of those. Now, sometimes I cannot because by the time I wake up in the morning, maybe an instrument already triggered and the price is far away and I'm not able to catch the trade. That definitely happens. Today, though, everything, I was able to catch everything and everything hit. Now, besides these trades, like I said, we have the S&P trade, and we have a Nasdaq breakout box alert where I basically give a 10-point spread in the price, and if price breaks above, it's a buy. Price breaks below, it's a short, and that one worked out today as well. Now, one thing I did not do this month, I did not really think this through. I'm going to do it in February. So, beginning in February, see, because I have a number of funded accounts. By the way, you know this is not a SIM account because SIM accounts, let me show, SIM accounts are in gray, right? So SIM is in gray and the live is in white. Beginning in February, I'll be using the same account. See, this month I kept kind of switching without even thinking, but that would not give me an accurate total for the month because I have a number of funded accounts. So beginning in February, I'm going to be using the same funded account, and this will let me know at the end of the month what is the total. Now, obviously, not every day is going to be as good as this. A couple of days ago, I had a losing day where I lost $170. So, I'm thinking. So I'm thinking by the end of the month, after the good days and the bad days, I should say the winning days and the losing day. A losing day is not necessarily a bad day if you followed your plan, right? Because a trade is not a good trade or a bad trade, depending if it won or lost. You can have a bad trade that you won or a good trade that you lost. Not sure if it makes sense to you, but the point is, it's a good trade if you followed your plan. The outcome doesn't matter as long as you are following your plan. That makes it a good trade. So I'm not going to say good days and bad days. All days are good days if you follow your plan. They're just winning days and losing days. So beginning in February, I'm going to be using the same exact account, and we're going to have a running total of what we have as the month progresses. Anyway, let's get to the charts. The S&P was a trigger long at 4,039. Here it is, just going for 2 points on the ES. And here I got some pretty bad negative slippage. You see the total is 50. After hitting the target, it just moved down and I got some pretty bad negative slippage. And so the S&P just finished at $50. Again, live account. The Dow was a buy at 33,880. And on the Dow, I got amazing positive slippage. And that happened actually not, I mean, the news came out at 8:30, so this happened before the news. I really wasn't even watching this chart. That's why I use the auto trader, because I'm doing too many things in the morning. So I was not even watching this chart. But when I looked at it, I guess it was a very fast move here up. So even though it's only targeting 110, 120, I got over $220 here. So I guess it makes up for the S&P bad slippage. So that's the YM. All right, the Russell was a buy at 1904. Triggers over here, looking for 20 ticks. Really no heat at all on the Russell, hitting its target very quickly. Oil was a buy at 81.30. So oil did take some heat, but the pivots were all the way down, so it wasn't a concern. Hitting its target and getting some positive slippage on oil as well, because oil is also targeting $120. So gold was a sell at 1939. So gold actually triggered way before I woke up, but then it came up again to the trigger. And as we know by now, price more often than not will retest the trigger a number of times, because these numbers are important to the market. So it came up and then came out again and easily hit its target, $110. And that one also, of course, same exact funded account. So all 6 instruments hit on the trade alerts. Now I'm going to talk about the trades, the real-time trades in the room, especially the S&P. All right, so in the room, the S&P hit 64 very quickly, right out of the gate. 64 was important to us because, as I discussed with the group yesterday, 64 represent a price completion for today. So yesterday I said as long as the S&P closes above 22, 64 and then 73 is due in today's session. They did it really early, so 64 was hit early. I definitely expected a pullback from 64 down to the lower 50s. So my recommendation was to buy at 51 with a 47 stop. And they just went right through it. So here they are hitting the 64 and kind of spiking it. I was expecting a pullback down to around 51 to then come back to 64. Instead, they broke right through. They stopped us out, losing 4 points on that trade, and just continued down. Once they came down to the trigger, so the trigger was at 39, 4,039. When they came down to the trigger, I did say trigger is good. If price comes back, so first we went under it, said if price comes back, take the trigger. So those who took the trigger, I did, we ended up recovering the 4 points loss that we had on that 51 long. It came back down to the trigger. I still said the trigger is good. And then we were able to, again, those who participated were able to get profit here. And again, just to be fair, as I said earlier, I'm only looking for myself for $100 for these trades. So I needed to recover the 4 points I lost from 51 down to 47, and then make 2 more points. So 6 points altogether, which actually got on the first move here to 47. So from 39 to 37 gave me more than the 6 points that I needed to recover. Those who either did not take it or maybe just got out after breaking even from the other losing trade, there was another opportunity here. They went below the trigger again, came up again, below the trigger again, came up again, and now they're again trading above the trigger. And we discussed the importance of 28 in the room, on the channel, I should say. We discussed why 28 was important. And as long as they firm up on 28, And then on 41, those are the two numbers, 28 and 41, we should see a move up to the 50s, and this is where they are now. So again, I was talking about how 64 is one completion. The pullback from 64 was expected. The pullback all the way down to 28 was not expected, at least not by me. The firming up on 28, I guess, was hopeful but expected. And as long as they continue to firm up on 28 and 41, that move to 73, while might be delayed, is not negated. So because 28 held, because 28 was touched, 73 is delayed, but it's not negated, not as long as 28 holds. The truth is, even if 28 breaks somewhat, maybe down to 12, and then recovers, 73 is still there. 73 is a daily indication. In other words, yesterday I said 64 and 73, but it's a daily indication into today slash Friday. So they technically have 2 days to accomplish it. So yeah, so in total, everything in today, including, well, we had that one loss in S&P, but then there was a breakout trade, and I think I saw someone taking the breakout box, I should say, the Nasdaq breakout box. I think someone took it. Yeah, over here. So we had a breakout box, which is a real-time trade where I post in the room to draw the box. If you have the auto trade, of course, it's easier. If you don't have it, you can do it manually. Just it might be a bit more difficult, but you can definitely do it manually. The box was between 12,005 and 11,995, so that 10-point range. And this person took the trade and hit his target. Okay. All right. Well, so that's it for this recap. It was a tricky day for the S&P, no question. They really went way lower than I expected. But afterwards, at least so far, they are able to recover. They are above some key numbers. So we're going to continue to look for higher prices.